Yo everyone, thanks for joining me once again for Larry's full card betting guide. This weekend we have UFC Fight Night, Walker vs Zhang to look forward to, and I'm keen to go through some of my own bets and ideas for betting opportunities for the card. We are on a 2-week win streak currently and hoping to keep it rolling. I'll put the profit numbers for you guys now on screen if you guys want to have a look, but regardless of the previous profit, this is a whole new card, guys. I'll be going through absolutely everything in this betting guide, from who I pick to win each fight, my strong favorites and solid underdogs, my favorite lock of the card and underdog lock of the card, and to finish off, I will walk you guys through all my own personal bets, just so you can see what I've decided to do with all the research I've put into this card. This fight night will be the first fight night that I will be live streaming for an event, so make sure you also have your notification bell on for my channel, and I'll probably stick to doing them for fight nights just for now, just because I do enjoy watching the pay-per-views with my friends and family quite a lot, but that may change sometime in the future. And please help me out, guys, if you can, with some tips in the comments for streaming. I haven't done any streams before, so it would be much appreciated if anyone's got any tips. As always, though, for the betting guides, timestamps are in the description and the comment section below if you guys want to skip to anything in particular. So without further ado, let's jump into it. What you're looking at here are the lists of favorites and underdogs for the entire card, and like I always say, this is just to show you guys who I actually ended up picking to win on this card and how many of those picks were underdogs and favorites. If you haven't come here from my full card predictions and breakdown video for this card, where I talk in detail about all my reasoning for all my fighter picks, please go and check that video out if you want some additional information on why I made the picks that I've made. And if you have come from that video, like I always say, thanks for supporting the channel and watching both the videos, guys. I appreciate it a lot. I will now highlight in green who my picks were for this card, and as you can see, I didn't actually end up choosing many underdogs outright this week at all, but there are a few that I was close to pulling the trigger on, and I will outline some of them in my solid underdog section of this video. You guys have now seen my picks for this card. Let's move on now to my strong favorites and solid underdog section of the video, and as you can see here, for my strong favorite section, I have picked Michel Pereira, Taya Lake, Naraji, Aljamain Sterling, and Minyang Zhang. I also personally feel good about Su Young Yu and especially Gage Young. I really do like Gage Young here on this fight night. I honestly think that all these guys have a very high likelihood of winning their fights. The numbers next to the fighters' names are just the return you will get on them if you were to bet on them. So for example, if you were to bet $100 on Michel Pereira to win, it would net you a profit of $36 overall. And for my American viewers, as far as I know, when he has that minus 278 next to his name, that's how much money you have to bet on the fighter to win $100 profit back on your bet. And something I will say is, besides Aljamain Sterling, I really feel a lot of first round KO finishes coming from the rest of these favorites here on this list, guys. I don't know about you guys, but I just feel it coming. But anyways, we can jump into the solid underdogs I've chosen for this card. I've personally chosen Austin Hubbard, Charles Johnson, Kevin Borjas, and Waldo Cortes-Acosta as my picks for solid underdogs on this card. I do really think all these guys have a good chance of getting it done this weekend because of many factors. Austin Hubbard is just someone that I think is being a little underrated, especially since he's relatively hard to finish on the feet and can make his opponents have a hard time against him. He arguably won his last 2 split decision losses that he's had. That's how close he's making those fights. Charles Johnson, on the other hand, just like C-Rod at the featherweight division, is a bit of a prospect killer himself, and I'm worried for Lonia Kavanagh since Charles Johnson is a relatively tricky puzzle to solve. Kevin Borjas is the one underdog I picked on this card outright, and I do have a feeling he can get the KO in this matchup come fight night. And lastly, Waldo Cortes-Acosta is better than your average heavyweight, and I do worry for Sergey Pavlovich a little bit, since he does seem to struggle with the type of fighter that likes to stay moving on the feet from the outside. If you guys do want to know more in general about all these picks and all my other fighter picks, like I already said earlier in this video, go check out my full card predictions and breakdown of every single fight on this card. I'll put a link to it somewhere here on the video, should be in the top right corner or the description. Now that we're onto my locks of the card section, this week I have ended up choosing Taya Lake Naraji as my favorite lock of the card, and honestly guys, if this guy doesn't get put out cold by like some random punch whilst he's being overly aggressive, I could almost guarantee with 100% certainty that he not only wins this fight, but he finishes Kiefer Crosby inside the first 2 rounds. That's how much better I think he is than Kiefer Crosby, and the guy could win this fight easily with his ground game on top of the striking game, he could win this fight pretty much anywhere it goes, in my opinion. That's my takeaway from that matchup, and that's why Tayalake Naraji is my lock of the card for the favorites. Let's move on now to my underdog lock of the card, and as you guys know, I don't have anyone as an outright underdog pick besides Kevin Borjas, so I will have to put him here. I do think he can get the finish in this matchup as well. I do think he's slightly the more technical fighter over Sumadaji, so I do see him doing well in this matchup regardless if he does find that finish. That's my reasoning for picking Kevin Borjas as my underdog lock of the card, guys. Moving on now to the high risk, high reward section of the video. This section is where I highlight one fighter on the card that I think has completely juiced odds relative to their chances of winning. It could be a fighter I haven't even necessarily picked to win in my predictions video, but it's someone I think has a better chance to succeed than the odds makers say. One of the bets that I usually outline in this section usually actually ends up cashing each week, which is pretty crazy since these are meant to be pretty high risk, high reward bets. I think I started this around 5 betting guides ago, and I think it's only missed one time potentially. Last week we did pick Alexander Hernandez for this spot, and not only did he win this fight, but he actually won it by KO in the first round. So that insane bet that I outlined actually did hit, which was awesome to see. The fighter I've chosen this week is actually Austin Hubbard, and it's because I truly believe he's being underrated in this matchup to a degree for how big of an underdog he is. Austin Hubbard had 2 really close losses recently, with the fight against Alexander Hernandez honestly feeling like a clear robbery in my opinion. If I remember watching that fight correctly, or if I remember correctly about that fight, he's really tricky to deal with. He's always switching stances, he's always on the move, willing to change levels and go for takedowns if he needs to. I honestly think there is a good chance he could get the upset here in this fight. For the high risk bet, I did start off with the money line bet on him. If he does manage to have success on the feet, staying at range and moving in and out of danger, this bet seems actually pretty solid to me in my opinion. For a very high risk bet, I do have him winning by points, and this isn't that high crazy risk to me because if he does win this fight, it's most likely by points. Austin Hubbard hasn't really gotten a finish for a long time if my memory serves me correct. Now for the insane risk bet, I do have him by finish, but this is just insane, guys. I personally wouldn't take this bet at all in my opinion. I know I'm highlighting it here, but just pretty much avoid it. Act like it's not here. I would take the previous bet over this one any day of the week. For the safe-ish bet though, if you've been watching these videos for the past few weeks, you would know already what's coming. I like the spread bets, plus 3.5 rounds, and I honestly feel I would add this one to the betting guide. I would have already put it in, honestly, but I'm just waiting for Bet365 to have it available. That personally would be the bet I would go with in my opinion. That's it for this section, guys. Let's move on now to my personal bets I have on this card, and here they all are for you guys now. My current personal bets I have on this card, so you can check them all out. There are many different types of bets here, as you can see, so I'll run you through all of them now. The hidden bet in white is the subscribers bet of the week, and I'll reveal it right now for you guys. I have actually ended up choosing this person here. They were kind enough to write a lot of bets down for us, but the specific bets I ended up choosing was the parlay at the top, which has a guarantee placed on it, as well as he writes down you can parlay these and I'm sure this will hit. So how can I say no to that, guys, really? As you can see though, the parlay is Mingyang Zhang plus Aljamain Sterling plus Long Zhao versus you over 2.5 rounds. I also ended up choosing that Weston Wilson by submission bet as a little extra risky prop to throw in. So thank you to this person here. I also did see another person say that same type of bet in the comment section as well. And to give you even a little bit more credit here, I also actually already had the Michel Pereira in round 1 bet in this guide. So I will credit you a little bit as well for picking that same bet as me. Those bets have now been added to the guide, and thank you to the subscriber who commented these bets, and thanks to everyone in general who's just been supporting my videos and posting their own bets in the comments. I want to actually highlight some more guys in the comments, so I will put you guys on screen right now. Thanks for your comments, guys, and although I didn't necessarily pick you all, I pretty much did because these bets that you guys listed, I had already added to the guides. So I'll highlight these people here and share some joint credit in a great minds think alike type moment. Appreciate you all. If you do want to be the subscribers bet of the week for the next betting guide and be featured in my videos, please leave your comments in the comments section of my next prediction and breakdown video for your chance to be featured in that week's betting guide. I'll start reading out the bets now, and we can start with the prop section. We've got the subscribers bet of the week, of course. It is the parlay at the top of the screen. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned that already a couple of times. I've also got Tyalek Naraji to win in round 1, and like I stated in my predictions and breakdown video, a fun fact for you guys is that Kiefer Crosby has been finished in round 1 every single loss of his pro MMA career, and I think this can add also to that list. Next, we have Michel Pereira to win in round 1 as well, and this should happen almost always, honestly. As long as Michel Pereira fights like he normally fights and not like he did against Abus Magomedov, this should hit, most likely by KO in my opinion. I have a parlay with Lonier Kavanaugh and Aljamain Sterling as well, just two guys that on paper have a pretty solid chance to win both their fights. Next, I have the high risk prop on Weston Wilson by submission for a bit of fun, recommended by a few subscribers in the comments, of course. Next, I have my main card parlay as well, which is also high risk, and the parlay consists of Tyalek Naraji, Kevin Borjas, Sergey Pavlovich, Aljamain Sterling, and Minyang Zhang. And lastly, for the prop side of the guide, I do have my confident picks list as a parlay that includes Michel Pereira, Tyalek Naraji, and Minyang Zhang. Now to move over to my main bets I have, these are all my single fighter bets plus an extra prop I had this week since the left side always seems to be packed. I've got my underdog lock of the card in Kevin Borjas here as a bet, and I've already explained a lot on why that is earlier in this video, so I won't break this down again. I'll save you guys some time here. I've also got a bet on Gage Young, and I really do just think he can not only win this fight, but he can also get the KO here as well. And I'm going to say by hook KO, maybe left hook in particular. I've also got a bet on Su Young Yu. I just think he's overall a solid favorite, and the odds on him weren't bad for the money line bet. Same thing for my next bet with Uran Satiboldiv. I think his odds tightened a little bit as well, and I thought he's a pretty solid bet overall. Lastly, I do have a bet on the main event in Minyang Zhang by KO in round 1, and holy crap guys, this would just cap off the card if this does happen, and honestly, with how Zhang fights, this fight ends in round 1 for sure. That's it for my bets, guys. Good luck to everyone watching this video with your bets for this card. That's it for Larry's full card betting guide for UFC China, Walker vs. Zhang. If you like the videos and want to see more of it, please let me know in the comments below, and make sure you like the video, of course, guys, to support the channel. Thanks for watching though, guys, and see you guys next time.